Brief summary of Atomic Habits. An easy way, unproven way to build good habits and break bad ones. James Clear. British cyclists had won just a single gold medal at the Olympic Games in about 100 years. The performance of the cyclists was so bad that one of the top bike manufacturers refused to sell bikes to their team because they were afraid it would hurt their sales. They hired a new coach, Dave Brailsford, as their new performance director. He brought in a relentless commitment to strategy that he referred to as aggregation of marginal gains, searching for a tiny margin of improvement in everything you do. Dave made small adjustments, pre-designing their bike seats, rubbed alcohol on tires to have a better grip, riders asked to wear electrically heated overshorts to maintain ideal muscle temperature while riding, and used biofeedback sensors to monitor how each athlete responded to a particular workout. Besides this, Brailsford and their team continued to find 1% improvements in overlooked and unexpected areas. With all the small improvements accumulated, British cycling went on to win 60% of the gold medals in London. Their teams also went on to win Tour de France 5 times in 6 years. Massive success requires massive action. It is the accumulation of the small 1% improvements which finally results in significant improvements. If you can get 1% better each day for 1 year, you will end up 37 times better by the time you are done. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The impact created by a change in your habits is similar to the effect of shifting the route of an airplane by just a few degrees. Imagine flying from LAX to NYC. The pilot adjusts the heading just 3.5 degrees south. You might end up in Washington, D.C. instead of in New York. Success is the product of daily habits, not once-in-a-lifetime transformations. Your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. Your net worth is a lagging measure of your financial habits. Time magnifies the margin between success and failure. It will multiply whatever you feed it. Your habits can compound for you or against you. Positively in terms of productivity, more tasks you can handle without thinking. Knowledge, commitment to lifelong learning is transformative. Relationships, the more you help others, the more others want to help you. In terms of negative compounding, stress, negative thoughts and outrage can all build up into serious health issues later. Breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. For example, cancer spends 80% of its life undetectable, then takes over the body in months. Bamboo can be hardly seen for the first 5 years as it builds up its extensive root systems underground before exploding 90 feet in the air within 6 weeks. Habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. In the early and middle stages of any quest, there is often a valley of disappointment, often feeling you are not going anywhere. In order to make a meaningful difference, habits need to persist long enough to break through the plateau of latent potential. If you find yourself struggling to build a good habit or break a bad one, it is not because you have lost the ability to improve. It is because you have not yet crossed the plateau of latent potential. It is the human equivalent of geological pressure. Two tectonic plates can grind against one another for millions of years. Tension building up slowly, and one fine day, out erupts the earthquake. Change can take years before it happens all at once. In the locker room of San Antonio Spurs, when nothing seems to help, I go and look at a stonecutter hammering away at his rock, perhaps 100 times without as much as a crack showing in it. Yet at the 101st blow it will split into two, and I know it was not that last blow that did it, but all that had gone before. Goals are about the results you want to achieve. Systems are the processes that lead to those results. Goals are good for setting a direction, but systems are best for making progress. For example, if you are a coach, your goal might be to win a championship. Your system is the way you recruit players, manage assistant coaches, and conduct practice. True long-term thinking is goalless thinking. It is not about any single accomplishment. It is about the cycle of continuous improvement. Ultimately, it is your commitment to the process that will determine your progress. You do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Chapter 2. Changing our habits is challenging for 2 reasons. 1. We try to change the wrong thing, and 2. We try to change our habits in the wrong way. There are 3 levels at which change can occur. The first layer is changing your outcomes, concerned with changing your results, losing weight, publishing a book, etc. Most goals you set are associated with this level of change. Or the second layer is changing your process, concerned with changing habits and systems, implementing a new routine at the gym, developing a meditation practice, etc. Most of the habits you build are associated with this level. Oh, the third and deepest layer is changing your identity. This is concerned with changing your beliefs, your self-image, your judgment about yourself. Most of the beliefs, assumptions and biases you hold are associated with this level. Outcomes are about what you get. Processes are about what you do. Identity is about what you believe. All levels of change are useful in their own way. The problem is the direction of the change. Many people begin the process of changing the habits by focusing on what they want to achieve. This leads to outcome-based habits. The alternative is to build identity-based habits. With this approach, we start by focusing on who we wish to become. True behavior change is identity change. You might start a habit because of motivation, but the only reason you will stick with one is that it becomes part of your identity. Your behaviors are usually a reflection of your identity. What you do is an indication of the type of person you believe you are, either consciously or unconsciously. The more deeply a thought or action is tied to your identity, the more difficult it is to change. The biggest barrier to positive change at any level, individual, team or organization, is identity conflict. Your identity emerges out of your habits. You are not born with preset beliefs. Every belief is learned and conditioned through experience. The more you repeat a behavior, the more you reinforce the identity associated with that behavior. Habits are a path to changing your identity. The most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. Your habits shape your identity and your identity shapes your habits. It is a two-way street. The formation of all habits is a feedback loop. Your values, principles and identity should drive the loop rather than your results. Chapter 3. A habit is a behavior that has been repeated enough times to become automatic. The process of habit formation begins with trial and error. Whenever you encounter a new situation in life, your brain has to make a decision. How do I respond to this? Whenever you face a problem repeatedly, your brain begins to automate the process of solving it. As habits are created, the level of activity in the brain decreases. Jason Ariha, a behavioral scientist. Habits are simply reliable solutions to recurring problems in the environment. Habits are mental shortcuts learned from experience. It is a memory of steps that you previously followed to solve a problem in the past. Habits reduce cognitive load and free up mental capacity so you can allocate your attention to other tasks. Building habits in the present allows you to do more of what you want in the future. The process of building a habit can be divided into 4 simple steps: cue, craving, response, and reward. This 4-step pattern is the backbone of every habit, and your brain runs through these steps in the same order each time. Oh, cue. The cue triggers your brain to initiate a behavior. It is a bit of information that predicts a reward. Your mind is continuously analyzing your internal and external environment for hits of where rewards are located. Oh, craving is the motivational force behind every habit. With some level of motivation or desire, without craving for change, we have no reason to act. What you crave is not the habit itself, but the change in state it delivers. For example, you do not crave smoking a cigarette, you crave for the feeling of relief it provides. Or response is the actual habit you perform, which can take the form of thought or action. The response may depend on your motivation levels and the friction associated with the behavior. Response also depends on your ability. A habit can occur only if you are capable of doing it. Oh, reward. Response delivers a reward, the end goal of every habit. The craving is about wanting the reward. Response is about obtaining the reward. We chase rewards because they serve 2 purposes. 1. They satisfy us. Rewards deliver contentment and relief from craving. 2. They teach us which actions are worth remembering in the future. Your brain is a reward detector. If the behavior is insufficient in any of the 4 stages, it will not become a habit. Eliminate the cue. Your habit will never start. Reduce the craving, and you won't experience enough motivation to act. Make the behavior difficult and you won't be able to do it. And if the reward fails to satisfy your desire, then you will have no reason to do it again in the future. The cue triggers a craving, which motivates a response which provides a reward which satisfies a craving and ultimately becomes associated with a cue. Together these 4 steps form a neurological feedback loop, also known as the habit loop. The 4 laws of behavior change provides a simple set of rules for creating good habits and breaking bad ones. When the levers are in right positions, creating good habits is easy. When it is in the wrong positions, it is nearly impossible. How to create a good habit? Oh, first law, cue, make it obvious. So second law, craving, make it attractive. Oh, third law, response, make it easy. Oh, fourth law, reward, make it satisfying. We can invert these laws to learn how to break a bad habit. O inversion of first law. Q. Make it invisible. O inversion of second law. Craving. Make it unattractive. O inversion of third law. Response. Make it difficult. O inversion of fourth law. Reward. Make it unsatisfying. Whenever you want to change your behavior, you can simply ask yourself, oh, how can I make it obvious? Oh, how can I make it attractive? Oh, how can I make it easy? Oh, how can I make it satisfying? Chapter 4. The human brain is a prediction machine. It is continuously taking in your surroundings and analyzing the information it comes across. With enough practice, you can pick up on the cues that predict certain outcomes without consciously thinking about it. For example, museum curators on fake art pieces, doctors, paramedics on having one look at the patient. Carl Jung, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Japanese railway operators go through a ritual of pointing at different objects and calling out commands. Signal is green, all clear, etc. Every detail is identified, pointed at and named aloud. This process is known as pointing and calling, a safety system designed to reduce mistakes. May sound silly, but it reduces errors by up to 85% and cuts accidents by 30%. This is effective because it raises the level of awareness from an unconscious habit to a more conscious level. Habits scorecard is a simple exercise for one to become more aware of his behavior. For example, have a list of items to do, and write A+ if it is a good habit, dash if it is a bad habit, and equals if it is a neutral habit. There are no good or bad habits, there are only effective habits. All habits serve you in some way. Ask yourself, does this behavior help me to become the type of person I wish to be? The first step to changing bad habits is to be on the lookout for them. The process of behavior change starts with awareness. Chapter 5. Having an implementation intention, a plan you make beforehand about when and where to act, about how you intend to implement a particular habit, are effective in sticking to our goals. The format for creating an implementation intention is when situation X arises. I will perform response Y. People who make a specific plan for when and where they will perform a new habit are more likely to follow through. An implementation intention sweeps away foggy notions like I want to work out more or I want to be more productive and transforms them into a concrete plan of action. The simple way to apply this strategy to your habits is to fill out this sentence: I will, behavior, at, time, in, location. For example, I will exercise for 1 hour at 5 p.m. in my local gym. Being specific about what you want and how you will achieve it helps you say no to things that derail progress, distract your attention and pull you off course. Give your habits time and space to live in the world. The goal is to make the time and location so obvious that, with enough repetition, you get an urge to do the right thing at the right time, even if you can't say why. Diderot effect states that obtaining a new possession often creates a spiral of consumption that leads to additional purchases, a chain reaction of purchases. E.g., you buy a dress and have to get new shoes and earrings to match. When it comes to building new habits, you can use the connectedness of behavior to your advantage. One of the best ways to build a new habit is to identify a current habit you already do each day and then stack your new behavior on top. This is called habit stacking. Habit stacking is a special form of implementation intention. Instead of pairing a new habit with time and location, you pair it with the current habit. The key is to tie your desired behavior into something you already do each day. The habit stacking formula is after current habit, I will, new habit. For example, exercise. After I take off my work shoes, I will immediately change into my workout clothes. Habit stacking allows you to create a set of simple rules that guide your future behavior. The first law of behavior change is to make it obvious. Strategies like implementation intentions and habit stacking are among the practical ways to create obvious cues for your habits and design a clear plan for when and where to take action. Chapter 6. Suggestion impulse buying is triggered when a shopper sees a product for the first time and visualizes the need for it. In other words, customers occasionally buy products not because they want them but because how they are presented to them. For example, if you want to remember to take your medication each night, put your pill bottle directly next to the faucet on the bathroom counter. If you want to make a habit a big part of life, make the cue a big part of your environment. The most persistent behaviors usually have multiple cues. The cues that trigger a habit can start out very specific, but over time, your habits become associated not with a single trigger but with the entire context surrounding the behavior. For example, many people drink more in social situations than they would ever drink alone. Our behavior is not defined by the objects in the environment but by our relationship to them. Stop thinking about your environment as being filled with objects. Start thinking about it as being filled with relationships. Habits can be easier to change in a new environment. It is easier to associate a new habit with a new context than to build a new habit in the face of competing cues. A stable environment where everything has a place and a purpose is an environment where habits can easily form. Chapter 7. One of the most practical ways to eliminate a bad habit is to reduce exposure to the cue that causes it. For example, if you cannot seem to get any work done, leave your phone in another room for a few hours. This practice is an inversion of the first law of behavior change. Rather than making it obvious, you can make it invisible. People with high self-control tend to spend less time in tempting situations. It is easier to avoid temptation than resist it. Self-control is a short-term strategy, not a long-term one. You may be able to resist the temptation once or twice, but it is unlikely you can muster the willpower to override your desires every time. Make the cues of good habits obvious and the cues of bad habits invisible. Chapter 8. The second law of behavior change is make it attractive. The more attractive an opportunity is, the more likely it is to become habit-forming. Habits are dopamine-driven feedback loop. When dopamine rises, so does our motivation to act. It is the anticipation of rewards, not the fulfillment of it, that gets us to take action. The greater the anticipation, the greater the dopamine spike. Temptation bundling works by linking an action you want to do with an action you need to do. Temptation bundling is one way to apply a psychology theory known as Premack's principle, which states that more probable behaviors will reinforce less probable behaviors. You could combine temptation bundling with habit stacking. After current habit, I will. Habit I need. After habit I need, I will. Habit I want. For example, after I get my morning coffee, I will say one thing I am grateful for that happened yesterday. Need. After I say one thing that I am grateful for, I will read the news. Want. Chapter 9. The culture we live in determines which behaviors are attractive to us. We tend to adopt habits that are praised and approved of by our culture because we have a strong desire to fit in and belong to the tribe. We typically tend to imitate the habits of three social groups: the close, family and friends; the many, the tribe; and the powerful, those with status and prestige. One of the most effective things you can do to build better habits is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior and you have something in common with the group. The normal behavior of the tribe usually overpowers the desired behavior of the individual. Most days we would rather be wrong with the crowd than be right by ourselves. If a behavior can get us approval, respect and praise, we find it attractive. Chapter 10. The inversion of the second law of behavior change is make it unattractive. Every behavior has a surface level craving and a deeper underlying motive. Your habits are modern-day solutions to ancient desires. The cause of your habits is actually the prediction that precedes them, which leads to feeling. Highlight the benefits of avoiding a bad habit to make it seem unattractive. Habits are attractive when we associate them with positive feelings and unattractive when we associate them with negative feelings. Create a motivation ritual by doing something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit. Chapter 11. It is easy to get bogged down trying to find the optimal plan for change, the fastest way to lose weight, the best program to build muscle, the perfect idea for a side hustle. We are so focused on the best approach that we never get around to taking action. The best is the enemy of good, Voltaire. There is a difference between being in motion and taking action. When you are in motion, you are planning and strategizing and learning. They are all good, but do not produce a result. Action is the type of behavior that will deliver an outcome. For example, outlining 20 ideas for articles is motion. Actually writing one article is action. Motion allows us to feel like we are making progress without running the risk of failure. Habit formation is the process by which a behavior becomes progressively more automatic through repetition. The more you repeat an activity, the more the structure of your brain changes to become efficient at that activity. To build a habit, you need to practice it. And the most effective way to make practice happen is to adhere to the third law of behavior change. Make it easy. Chapter 12. Conventional wisdom holds that motivation is the key to habit change. In a sense, every habit is just an obstacle to getting what you really want. Dieting is an obstacle to getting fit. Meditation is an obstacle to thinking clearly. The greater the obstacle, or more difficult the habit, the more friction there is between you and your desired end state. Hence, it is important to make your habits so easy that you will do them even when you don't feel like it. Human behavior follows the law of least effort. We will naturally gravitate towards the option that requires least amount of work. It is preferred to create an environment where doing the right thing is as easy as possible. Reduce the friction associated with good behaviors. When friction is low, habits are easy. Increase the friction associated with bad behaviors. When friction is high, habits are difficult. Whether we are approaching behavioral change as an individual, a parent, a coach, or a leader, we should ask ourselves the same question: how can we design a world where it is easy to do what is right? Chapter 13. Habits can be completed in a few seconds, but continue to impact your behavior for minutes and hours. Many habits occur at decisive moments, the moments that deliver a huge impact. Choices that are like a fork in the road and either send you in the direction of a productive day or an unproductive one. Mastering these decisive moments throughout the day is important. The 2-minute rule states when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. As you master the art of showing up, the first 2 minutes simply become a ritual at the beginning of a larger routine. The more you ritualize the beginning of a process, the more likely it becomes that you can slip into a state of deep focus that is required to do great things. Standardize before you optimize. You can't improve a habit that does not exist. Chapter 14. A commitment device is a choice you make in the present that controls your actions in the future. It is a way to lock in future behavior, bind you to good habits, and restrict you from bad ones. Commitment devices are useful because they enable you to take advantage of good intentions before you fall victim to temptation. The ultimate way to lock in future behavior is to automate your habits. Using technology to automate your habits is the most reliable and effective way to guarantee the right behavior. Ritte's incorruptible cashier, the machine automatically locked the cash and receipts inside after each transaction. The best way to break a bad habit is to make it impractical to do. Increase the friction until you don't even have the option to act. The brilliance of the cash register was that it automated ethical behavior by making stealing practically impossible. Look at one-time options that require a little bit of effort upfront, but create increasing value over time. For example, buying a water filter to clean your drinking water, or use of smaller plates to reduce caloric intake. Remove your television from your bedroom. Chapter 15. The fourth law of behavior change is to make it satisfying. We are more likely to repeat a behavior when the experience is satisfying. The human brain evolved to prioritize immediate rewards over delayed rewards. The cardinal rule of behavior change is: what is immediately rewarded is repeated. What is immediately punished is avoided. To get a habit to stick, you need to feel immediately successful, even if in a small way. The first 3 laws of behavior change: make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, increase the odds that a behavior will be performed this time. The fourth law of behavior change, make it satisfying, increases the odds that a behavior will be repeated the next time. Our preference for instant gratification reveals an important truth about success. Because of how we are wired, most people will spend all day chasing quick hits of satisfaction. The road late traveled is the road of delayed gratification. If you are willing to wait for the rewards, you will face less competition and often get a bigger payoff. It is possible to train yourself to delay gratification. The best way to do this is to add a little bit of immediate pleasure to the habits that pay off in the long run and a little bit of immediate pain to ones that don't. A habit needs to be enjoyable for it to last. Simple bits of reinforcement can offer immediate pleasure. You need to enjoy a habit. Change is easy when it is enjoyable. Chapter 16. One of the most satisfying feelings is the feeling of making progress. A habit tracker is a simple way to measure whether you did a habit, like marking an X on a calendar. Benjamin Franklin carried a small booklet everywhere he went and used it to track 13 virtues. Habit trackers and other visual forms of measurement can make your habits satisfying by providing clear evidence of your progress. Research has shown that people who track their progress on goals like losing weight, quitting smoking, etc. are all the more likely to improve than those who are not. Habit tracking helps keep your eye on the ball. You are focused on the process rather than the result. The dark side of tracking a particular behavior is that we become driven by the number rather than the purpose behind it. Goodhart's law: when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. Measurement is only useful when it guides you and adds context to a larger picture, not when it consumes you. Don't break the chain. Try to keep the habit streak alive. Never miss twice. If you miss one day, try to get back on track as quickly as possible. Just because you can measure something doesn't mean that it is the most important thing. Chapter 17, The Inversion of Fourth Law of Behavior Change is to make it unsatisfying. We are less likely to repeat a bad habit if it is painful or unsatisfying. An accountability partner can create an immediate cost to inaction. We care deeply about what others think of us, and we do not want others to have a lesser opinion of us. A habit contract is a verbal or written agreement in which you state your commitment to a particular habit and the punishment that will occur if you don't follow through. A habit contract can be used to add a social cost to any behavior. It makes the cost of violating your promises public and painful. Knowing that someone else is watching you can be a powerful motivator. Chapter 18, The Secret to Maximizing Your Odds of Success is to choose the right field of competition. Habits are easier to perform and more satisfying to stick with when they align with your natural inclinations and abilities. Being 7 feet tall is a great advantage for basketball, a hindrance if you are doing gymnastics. Pick the right habit and progress is easy. Pick the wrong habit and life is a struggle. Genes cannot be easily changed, which means they provide a powerful advantage in favorable circumstances and a serious disadvantage in unfavorable circumstances. The most proven scientific analysis of personality traits breaks them down to 5 spectrums of behavior: openness to experience, from curious and inventive on one end to cautious and consistent on the other. Conscientiousness, organized and efficient to easygoing and spontaneous. Extroversion, outgoing and energetic to solitary and reserved. Agreeableness, friendly and compassionate to challenging and detached. Neuroticism, anxious and sensitive to confident, calm and stable. Habits are easier when they align with your natural abilities. Choose the habits that best suit you. Play a game that favors your strengths. If you cannot find a game that favors you, create one. Genes do not eliminate the need for hard work. They clarify it. They tell us what to work hard on. One of the best ways to ensure your habits remain satisfying over the long run is to pick behaviors that align with your personality and skills. Work hard on the things that come easy. Chapter 19. The human brain loves a challenge, but only if it is within the optimal zone of difficulty. The Goldilocks rule states that humans experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of the current abilities. The greatest threat to success is not failure but boredom. As habits become routine, they become less interesting and less satisfying. We get bored. A flow state is the experience of being in the zone and fully immersed in an activity. Research has shown that to achieve a state of flow, the task must roughly be 4% beyond your current ability. Anyone can work hard when they feel motivated. It is the ability to keep going when work isn't exciting that makes the difference. The main factors which differentiates the best athletes and everyone else is genetics, luck, talent, and above all those who can handle the boredom of training every day, doing the same chores day in and day out. The only way to become excellent is to be endlessly fascinated by doing the same thing over and over. You have to fall in love with boredom. Professionals stick to schedule. Amateurs let life get in the way. Chapter 20. The upside of habits is that we can do things without thinking. The downside is that we stop paying attention to little errors. You assume you are getting better because you are gaining experience. In reality, you are merely reinforcing your current habits, not improving them. Habits are necessary but not sufficient for mastery. What you need is a combination of habits and deliberate practice. Habits plus deliberate practices equals mastery. Basketball players dribbling without thinking, surgeons not thinking of the first incision having done it multiple times earlier. Reflection and review is a process that allows you to remain conscious of your performance over time. The coach of La Lakers came out with the Career Best Effort Program, CBE, giving your best effort spiritually, mentally, and physically, and the players were asked to improve their output by at least 1% over the course of the season. Reflection and review enables long-term improvement of all habits because it makes you aware of your mistakes and helps you consider possible paths for improvement. Improvement is not just about learning habits, it is also about fine-tuning them. Reflection and review offers an ideal time to revisit one of the most important aspects of behavior change: identity. The tighter we cling to an identity, the harder it becomes to grow beyond it. Conclusion: the holy grail of habit change is not a single 1% improvement, but 1,000 of them. It is a bunch of atomic habits stacking up, each one a fundamental unit of the overall system. Each improvement is like adding a grain of sand to the positive side of the scale, slowly tilting things in your favor. Success is not a goal to reach or a finish life to cross. It is a system to improve, an endless process to refine. The secret to getting results that last is to never stop making improvements. It is remarkable what you can build if you just don't stop. Small habits don't add up, they compound. Here is a wonderful summary of the how to create a good habit and how to break a bad habit from the book. How to create a good habit. The first law, make it obvious. 1.1 Fill out the habit scorecard. Write down your current habits to become aware of them. 1.2 Use implementation intentions. I will, behavior, at, time, in, location. 1.3 Use habit stacking. After, current habit, I will, new habit. 1.4 Design your environment. Make the cues of good habits obvious and visible. The second law, make it attractive. 2.1 Use temptation bundling. Pair an action you want to do with an action you need to do. 2.2 Join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. 2.3 Create a motivation ritual. Do something you enjoy immediately before a difficult habit. The third law, make it easy. 3.1 Reduce friction. Decrease the number of steps between you and your good habits. 3.2 Prime the environment. Prepare your environment, make further actions easier. 3.3 Master the decisive moment. Optimize the small choices that deliver outsized impact. 3.4 Use the 2-minute rule. Downscale your habits until they can be done in 2 minutes or less. 3.5 Automate your habits. Invest in technology and one-time purchases that look into future behavior. The fourth law, make it satisfying. 4.1 Use reinforcement. Give yourself an immediate reward when you complete a habit. 4.2 Make doing nothing enjoyable. When avoiding a bad habit, design a way to see the benefits. 4.3 Use a habit tracker. Keep track of your habit streak and don't break the chain. 4.4 Never miss twice. When you forget to do a habit, make sure you get back on track immediately. How to break a bad habit. Inversion of first law, make it invisible. 1.5 Reduce exposure. Remove the cues of your bad habits from your environment. Inversion of second law, make it unattractive. 2.4 Reframe your mindset. Highlight the benefits of avoiding your bad habits. Inversion of third law, make it difficult. 3.6 Increase friction. Increase the number of steps between you and your bad habits. 3.7 Use a commitment device. Restrict your future choices to the ones that benefits you. Inversion of fourth law, make it unsatisfying. 4.5 Get an accountability partner. Ask someone to watch your behavior. 4.6 Create a habit contract. Make the costs of bad habits public and painful. Thank you for listening this audiobook. Please subscribe the channel and stay blessed. Looking forward to your comments. See you again.